March 15th, 2021. Due to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services requirements, this meeting will be held virtually. The public may participate in the meeting, public hearing, through Zoom access by computer and smartphone. A link will be posted at genoa.org. Please email info@genoa.org or call 810-227-5225 if you have any questions. And I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could have a roll call for attendance, I would appreciate it. And make sure you please note your location.
Ledford at home in Genoa Township.
Croft.
Jim Martinson at home in Genoa Township. I'm sorry I didn't get that you're calling them off.
She's calling them out.
Yeah, it's Terry Croft. I'm here at Genoa Township.
Hunt.
Robin Hunt, Genoa Township.
Lowe.
Diana Lowe, Genoa Township.
Mortensen.
Jim Martinson at home in Genoa Township.
Scaleras at home in Genoa Township. Rogers.
Bill Rogers, Township Hall, Genoa Township. Thank you all. If everyone would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Oh man, I don't know if I can do this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States,
United States of
the republic for which
it stands.
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and
Be and justice for all.
Thank you, one and all. We have a call to the public. This is for any items typically not on the agenda, but due to the Zoom meeting, I will also leave this meeting open, or this call to the public open. There will be another call to the public during the regular agenda and during budget consideration. So with that, the call to the public is open. I'll wait here a few minutes to see if anyone calls for any items not on. Mr. Arkanal, Mr. Manager. Okay, then I'm just going to continue with the meeting until. Yeah, we're getting multiple calls back in front of you. Okay. Just to let you folks know, we're getting multiple calls coming in, and we're just, the manager is working through that. He's got a few technical issues, so we will be bringing some folks forward here shortly. But in the interim, let's move on to the consent agenda.
I'd like to move the minutes of February 15th to the regular agenda, please.
So we have agenda, the consent agenda, a motion to move the February 15th minutes to the regular agenda, and the balance stays on. Is there support?
Low support.
So we have a motion and support. Any further discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. So let's move on to the regular agenda. And that includes now the February 15th minutes.
Yeah, under item number 5 on E, it says disposition of the $12 increase. We voted on that February 15th. So that should be removed.
So the motion for the regular agenda is to remove item E, as that has already been taken care of.
I would like to have item C and D revised. Item C should say disposition of salaries for elected officials with a 2% increase for the supervisor, the treasurer, comma, the clerk, and the trustees. And under D, I would like to revise it to say
Yes.
disposition of a 2% salary increase for all staff, comma, planning commissioners, and ZBA members. With that, I would move approval of the regular agenda with those changes, as well as the elimination of item E.
Lightfoot seconds the
Again, could you
motion.
please repeat just the addition to C for me?
Item C, disposition of
Trustee.
disposition of salaries for elected officials, a 2% increase for the supervisor, the treasurer, comma, the clerk, and trustees.
Okay. Does everyone understand the addendums to this? The motion and the support? We have motion and support. Any further discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. We now have a regular agenda. Let's start first. We'll put that up on top. The
I
February.
think we have, does Mike have someone ready?
Yeah, Mr. Supervisor, we're getting quite a few calls lined up here, so I would suggest we take as much time as we need for the call to the public.
That's not a problem, as I think we've pretty much decided we're keeping it to the bitter end.
Caller, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you have the audience of the Township Board. Proceed.
Sounds great. My name is Lexi Jones. I live at 3553 Westfall Road. I just wanted to take this time during the call to public to voice my concern regarding the special land use permit at 3280 Chilton Road. This application for special land use permit submitted by the Catholic Healthcare International Group received preliminary approval at the Planning Commission meeting last week, with Jim Mortensen making a motion to approve the permit. As a resident located less than 300 feet away from the property in question, I am continuing to oppose the approval of a project that does not fit harmoniously within our specifically zoned residential and agricultural area. While the project itself is an amazing mission to bring relief to those suffering, the proposed site would negatively impact the surrounding community. This impact will be felt through noise pollution, increased traffic, light pollution, and will degrade the quality of life of those who live in the surrounding rural area. So I'd like to take this time to ask the board to listen to their residents and take our thoughts and our lives into consideration. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
Mike, are you taking notes as to the names? It's very difficult to hear.
I'm doing my best.
Thank you.
Mike, do you have someone else?
Bill, you're gonna have to give me some time here. Yes, we do. Hold on, please.
Yep.
Genoa Township may help you. Yes, we do. Hold on, please. Genoa Township, can I help you? Genoa Township may help you.
Hello.
Hi, if you would like to speak a call to the public, you have the audience of the Township Board.
Thank you. My name is Jim McCardle. That's McArdle. And my address is 2581 Fishbeck Road. And I second Lexi Jones's opposition to the decision made last week. We strongly oppose the Padre Pio project. We think that a full hearing needs to be had that allows the public to present its evidence as well as graphs and whatnot that cannot be done on a Zoom call. So we're asking that some sort of a public forum be provided other than a Zoom call. And again, we secondly the Lexi Jones's opposition to this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Genoa Township may help you.
Yes, I wanted to have a few words in regards to the project there, the Catholic Healthcare International.
Thank you. You have the Township Board's audience. Go ahead.
Yes, I just wanted to let you guys know that my name is Jacob Bogan. I live at 5790 Hickney Road. Still there?
Yes, we are. If there's any way to turn down your,
Yep.
yep, we're getting a lot of, thank you.
Okay, so just want to let you know I'm also one of the very many people that strongly oppose this project. I believe it's probably a great thing. It's definitely not the place for it though. Not in the middle of the residential area right there, and it's right down the road from my kids' elementary school. Traffic is already a major problem in the area. Another thing too, these people obviously we do not trust for many good reasons. Everything that they say and everything that they do keep contradicting themselves. During the meeting, the 4-hour Zoom meeting that I attended last with the Planning Commission, the speakers for the church kept promising the residents that this was just going to be the prayer center. There was no other intention to do any other phases whatsoever. And all along on their websites, everything talks about phase 1, 2, and 3. They have the chapel, they have hospital facilities, they have Terry Schiavo Home for the Brain Injured. They have free brochure advertisements at this site that we are speaking of. On the trees or in plastic bins, they say, please take one. I grabbed one, and right here, I am reading to you that they have the land donated by the bishop in Howell, Michigan. They're asking for tax-deductible donations to complete phase 1. Right below that, they have phase 2, Terry Schiavo Home for the Brain Injured. So right there is another lie that the gentlemen that were representing this organization told to the Planning Commission on the last Zoom meeting. So I would like for them to be answering some questions to you guys as well as the residents of Genoa Township. They also were told that they could not construct that the replica of the I think it was like a mural or the grotto that they were talking about. They went against the township's they did not approve it, so they put up a temporary one that's very dangerous. It's just a bunch of loose blocks, probably 8 to 10 foot tall, that's standing on the property. From my understanding, they did not have permission to do that, but they did it anyways. So they really don't seem to care about our laws to begin with. So, like I said, I'm a local resident taxpayer, and I strongly oppose this project.
Thank you.
That's it for now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mike, did you get his name?
I did.
Thank you.
Genoa Township, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment.
Certainly, you have the audience of the Township Board. Proceed.
Yes, my name is Lynn Lagana, and I'm at 3710 Westfall Road. I'm calling to voice my objection to passing the CHI petition for a special use permit on Chilton Road. I'm not against the project, but I am against the location. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Genoa Township, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment, please.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Hello?
Yes, you have the audience of the Township Board. Call to the public. Go ahead.
Yes, my name is Robert Lagana, and I live at 3710 Westfall Road. And I would like to add my voice to the numerous residents here that are opposed to the CHI project. And I would like to secondly mention that I would like the board to consider forestalling and canceling the Zoom meeting regarding the special permit use until all interested parties can be present at a location. There are too many shortcomings with Zoom calls and internet watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Thank you very much.
Yes, hello.
Hi, you have the audience of the Township Board. A call to the public. Go ahead.
Yes, and thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Linda Holland. My address is 3023 Pardee, and I'm calling on behalf of this special use permit. I've been listening into the Zoom meetings that they've had on this project. I've investigated, I've looked into it, I've read about it. A lot of conflicting information, a lot of things they're saying that is different to what we're, just a lot of conflicting information. I don't feel that this is, although I support this project, I'm Catholic myself, so it pains me to not want it, but this is not the area for it. This is a rural area, and we want to keep it that way. And I hope the trustees listen to the concerns of the people who voted them in. This does not belong here. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hello.
Hi, you're on the call to the public with the Township Board. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Hi, my name is Deborah Jones. I live at 3553 West Hall Road. I am calling in to voice my disapproval of the CHI project. I feel it would have a negative impact on this community, disturbing our life, our tranquility, and our happiness. There are a lot of other people out there that are voicing the same concerns. So we would like you to pause this project, regardless of the fact that the Planning Commission has given their okay to this. There are so many of us that are having issues with this, and these Zoom meetings do not give you guys the full effect of how the community feels. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good evening. We had quite a few calls coming in stacked up, so let's pause for a couple and see what comes through, eh?
Very good.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Yes, this is Mike Williams. I'm calling from 3654 Westfall. And I would like to raise my comments about this project with the church and stuff on Gilson Road.
Okay, you have the ear of the Township Board. Go ahead.
Okay, I totally oppose of it, as do all my neighbors in this area. That is not the area for it. If they want to do something like that, they need to find someplace that's not in the middle of a bunch of private homes. We don't want it. And I think they should have a public hearing where people can actually be present, not on a phone, not on Zooms. We should be able to all get together and discuss this so you can hear our concerns about this project. Because there's nobody that I know of that wants this or approves of it in that area.
Anything else, Mr. Williams?
That's it for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Have a good evening.
All right, bye.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Yes, hello.
Hi, you have the audience of the Township Board at Call to the Public. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Deborah Beatty. My address is 3809 Chilton Road. And I'm requesting that April 5th meeting for the Tri Project be tabled until, as the others are saying, we can all meet in person and discuss this project, because there are over 200 people in this area and growing that are against this. And I'd also like to mention that as to the Planning Commission approving this, only 4 of the 7 approved it. 3 did say no. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Mr. Supervisor?
Yes.
Yes, everyone is asking for a meeting where they can be in person. Is there a way we can postpone that April meeting?
I've got a call coming in. Hold on, please. Good evening, Genoa Township. If you're calling for the call to the public, you're on.
Yes.
Please proceed.
Hi, this is Robert Jones, 3553 Westfall. I just wanted the board to know that I'm with the others, that I don't believe this is the proper zoning for that area. And I want to leave some time for everyone else, so put me on your list. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. This is Genoa Township. If you're calling for call to the public, you have the form. Please go ahead.
Oh, let me turn down my iPad.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. This is Genoa Township. If you're calling for call to the public, you have.
Okay, I am just seconding and thirding and fourthing the comments of all my neighbors. We are up in arms about this. We all called in, we said our piece, and they said, yes, thank you for your input. And then they voted it in anyway. There's got to be some listening to your constituents here. My property adjoins the property that you're trying to build on. Now, I just looked on their website, and it says, this is stage 1, and then stage 2 is going to be the home for brain injured people, and then Catholic International and blah blah blah. And I'll tell you what, this is phase 2, and they're going ahead with putting up signs and installing everything without even township approval.
And I'm very angry about this. I live at 3591 West Fall Road. And if you walk through my woods, you'll walk right into their Serenity Garden. I'm just on the other side of the railroad tracks. All of our neighbors are totally against this. And it doesn't seem that anybody is listening. How can the zoning board just go ahead and do this stuff without listening to us? The whole thing is, you know, if you're looking at a planning commission, they should be planning to keep that as agricultural and country estates, which is 5-acre plots. Now, if we had 9 homes built in there in a little subdivision, it would not even light a candle to the kind of traffic that this church, pilgrimages and so on would produce. Right now, we live in the country and we came out here for a reason. This is how we chose to live. And for a planning commission to just go against the entire zoning proposition in the first place, I think is negligence. Now, right now there's enough traffic on Chilson Road and people are going 55 miles an hour. When you consider the traffic, even just from the school, you know, eventually they're going to say, well, we need a stoplight there. And then we're going to need a stoplight at the end of Latson Road. And then we're going to need, you know, more lanes on that highway to accommodate the traffic. These are people who live right next door to this proposition. I just looked on their website and they said they're breaking ground on May 25th. You know, so somebody is not listening. And I want you guys to listen to us. Okay, I'm saying my piece. I'm sorry if I sounded a little loud, but
You're fine. Before you go, can I get your
really
name?
want you to listen.
Thank you. Before you go, can I get your name, please?
Alida, A-L-I-D-A, Wolney, W-O-L-N-E-Y, 3591 West Fall Road.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening. If you're calling for the call to the public, you are on with the Township Board.
Yeah, this is Dawn Williams, 3654 Westfall. My concern is, first of all, I oppose this, but my concern is you have all of these people that don't want this. We sat through the 4-hour meeting and it seems like you didn't listen to any of us. You didn't hear any of us. We oppose it. We don't want it. It's fine to have a church. It's in the wrong location. And I'm wondering if any of your property backs up to this, or if any of you live very close to it. Because after that 4-hour meeting, and you had so many people oppose this, all of a sudden it's going to get passed. That's wrong. It's because you're not listening to us. And I think we are the ones that should matter because we live by it. So I'm also agreeing with, I think the meeting should be held off until we can all do this in person. You can see us eye to eye and understand that we mean this. We don't mind a church. It's in the wrong location. And that's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you go, was your address Westfall?
3654 Westfall, Dawn Williams.
Got it. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too.
We're still showing quite a few missed calls. And if you can hear that beeping when I'm talking to folks, that's other calls coming in. So I'd say let's give it some time.
Very good.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hi, yes, please. Can you hear me?
I can.
hear myself.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're,
let me turn off my YouTube.
okay, thank you. You
so
are
I
on,
Real time. Thank you.
you are on with the township board, so go ahead.
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I live at 3990 Chilton, which is exactly at the corner of Chilton and Lapton. So my biggest concern, as I hear everyone honking every day and 15 people turning around in my driveway as they miss Lapton, no signs are going to prevent people from turning in other people's driveways as they visit this tiny site. I live on a major intersection, and I have UPS drivers, cops, mail people turning around my driveway. That's not my issue. My issue is, what is a pilgrimage site? 3 days ago, sharing in an interview how this was a pilgrimage site. You can't get beyond that. And I delivered in the last meeting some numbers about who visits pilgrimage sites, and it's like 120,000, 300,000. I'll give you some new numbers in case you listen to that. National Shrine of the Cross in the Woods in Indian River, Michigan, has 275,000 to 325,000 visitors a year. Chapel of the Holy Cross in Sedona, Arizona, an impressive display of a chapel. We are slightly less dramatic. They have 47 parking spaces, and I will not even give you the number that someone offhandedly gave me as I called them to ask how many visitors they have, because it sounds obscene. CHI should already be delivering numbers to who patronizes, or no, that's wrong, who goes to Bartow, Pennsylvania to visit National Center for Photography. I haven't seen those numbers. And it's not small. So yeah, it looks like a nice tiny chapel. Scott, he insinuated that a tiny chapel would be more disruptive than a huge replica. That's ridiculous. I would love to have a tiny chapel there. Please don't ring bells every day. Please have service 3 times a week. What do you consider a disturbance? How much activity maintains our low intensity rural character? A 200-person mass, they're already talking about busing people in. This is not small. They're delivering it small, but just what they're delivering. And my suggestion was, put the chapel where your hospital is. Keep this as a place of prayer and serenity and peacefulness, and please move that out. I'm sorry if I'm speaking. How much do I have time? Can I say more?
We try to limit to a couple minutes, but
where am I at?
you're about there, but go ahead.
Okay. Jill asked for a vision site plan on the February 8th meeting. I don't think that was delivered. Planning Commission statements at the end of February 8th was also Brian would deliver how loud. Chris asked on both meetings for a decibel study, or asked what the decibels would be, because they're apparently not supposed to exceed your decibels of your bell ringing past a certain time. Then there was another point where the bells should not be rung before 9 a.m., but may not. So I don't know all the technicalities. I just respect our zoning, until at least in the future, we have to address, calling it a national pilgrimage. Their entire marketing campaign has been about an international pilgrimage. So you can't erase that with 2 weeks of marketing. You've been marketing for years as an international place of pilgrimage. You can't erase that. And I want to hear what numbers go to visit Padre Pio. Still waiting on that number, because he is a very favorite saint. So I will end, and thank you for your time and attention. And really, this is important because it will change our neighborhood. We are spread out, but we are still a neighborhood, and we don't need this. Put it in the right place. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Genoa Township, good evening.
Hi, my name is Tim Park, and I'm at 3529 West Fall Road. And this is in regards to the proposed CHI project on Chilson Road. I strongly oppose this project at the proposed location. And I certainly hope that the board will listen to all the people, all the surrounding residents that are calling in opposition to this project. And I hope that you will deny their application. Thank you.
Sir, what is your last name one more time, please?
Park, P-A-R-K.
Got it. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
All right, you too, thanks.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling into the township trustees meeting.
You are there. Please go ahead. You have their audience.
Okay, this is John Wallbank. I'm at 2899 Pardee Road in Genoa Township, and I just briefly want to endorse the comments of my neighbors in opposition to the CHI project on Chilson Road. I know you have a lot of people who don't want to speak, so we're against it. We oppose the project at that location. I think the trustees can give the whole township a better yes on this by having the project placed in an appropriate location in the township, an area that's already zoned for that kind of activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
I guess I'm calling in for tonight's meeting.
Thank you. You have the Township Board's audience. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. My name is Dwayne Johnson. I live at 3990 Chilson Road, approximately 1 mile from the project with Catholic Health International. Just want to add my name to the list of those who strongly oppose. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Have a good evening. Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling about the special meeting.
Yeah, you're on call to the public with the Township Board. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Dana Nicholas. I'm at 4569 Oak Point Drive in Brighton, and I'm calling to say that I'm opposed to the project at its location. I think that the traffic that will be created there will be horrendous. We have little kids in the area, a lot of them, and I just want to convey the same sentiments that the rest of the neighbors in the area have. And I really think that a lot of people in the area are not aware of the project and that it's even going on, which is a problem in itself. So I would like to see this tabled for the evening and have us go to in-person meeting.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Just for the record, for the viewing audience, this is not on the agenda this evening. You're at call to the public right now, which is totally appropriate, but this will be on an upcoming board meeting in the future.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good evening, ma'am.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Just FYI, we're showing that we've missed about 59 calls, so get comfortable. Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
This is a repeat call. I apologize, but I wanted to also communicate that the relics of Padre Pio were on display in Saginaw, Michigan, and between 8 and 12, 5,000 people visited that site. This is a site dedicated to Padre Pio. This is not to be taken lightly. Put it in the right place, perfect. Not here. Thank you very much.
Before you go, your name and address, please.
Oh, Melanie, I already called in. Melanie Johnson, 3990 Chilton, at the corner of Chilton and Laston. I will be most affected.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hi, yes, my husband called in earlier, but I'd like to also add my concerns. My name is Karen McCardle, and I live at 2581 Fishbeck Road. The reason that we live where we live is because we like how it is zoned and how that the families can be brought up within this area. I grew up in the country. I enjoy being in the country. My issue, I don't mind having a church on Chilton Road. I attend a church on Chilton Road. I attend Liberty Baptist. But that is zoned so that the church is appropriate in that area. This area is not zoned appropriately for this church. My biggest concern is if you do some research online, you begin seeing how many places that it is posted or in papers that it is posted that this project is going to grow. The plan is to grow this project. Well, we had a gentleman sitting at the Zoom conference telling us this was not going to happen. This is a huge concern for me. Land grab, I don't know if that's in the horizon. I don't know exactly how they plan to do this, but the plan absolutely is to expand this project. If you take some time, all the people on the board take some time, do a little Google search on this. You'll be shocked at what you see. So I appreciate your time. This is something that a lot of the community is upset about. They may not be calling in, but they are upset about it. It needs to be looked into better than it has been. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. So I don't know if all the missed calls was a function of people just calling over each other. It could have been. I'm seeing about 25 calls probably, and it could have just been people calling over each other. So, give it a couple more minutes here, Mr. Supervisor, if that's okay, and I guess proceed with the rest of business.
Okay, just let me know when you think it's comfortable, because you're the one that is chasing the machine. You jinx yourself.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hello?
Hello, you're here for the call to the public with the Township Board?
Yeah, I certainly am.
Okay, go ahead. You have their audience.
Okay, I am actually calling back something that I did not mention. When we moved out here, we were able to have a star party because the skies were dark.
because we live in the country and we are zoned for agriculture and country estates. Now, when we look at the night sky, I can see the glow from Three Fires School because there is incredible amount of lighting there all night long. Now, you know darn well if they have a church there, they are going to light it up. And that is light pollution. If you live in the city, it's no big deal. You're used to it. We don't want that. And I am speaking for all the people who couldn't get through tonight. We are so much against this. The whole neighborhood is so much against this. You need to have this on a forum where we can be listened to. And I agree that we need an in-person meeting, and the weather is not conducive to having an outdoor meeting right now. But we could have a meeting, you could set up a tent right at that site. And we could have an outdoor meeting when the weather gets milder. The website for Catholic Health International is already taking in donations. They have already put up temporary structures on the property. They've already had a dedication ceremony, and they are posting on their website that they want to break ground on May 25th. That is way too soon. They're going ahead without our consent and without even their application being approved. And the neighbors are all against this. We need to do something to listen to your constituents. Because for them to vote this in, even though the entire neighborhood is against it, there is something else going on. I know they had this land that donated to them. They could sell that land, make a nice profit, and buy some land further away. It's just not the right location. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Before you go, I got that your repeat call. Can I have your name, please?
Okay, that's Alita Wolney, Wolney, 3591 Westfall. My property adjoins that property.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Have a good evening.
Good night.
We did have a couple trying to get in when the last caller was on the line, so. Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Well, actually, this. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yes, you may. What question? What question? Do you have for our residents?
I'm not a board member, but I can answer that this item is not on the agenda. Obviously, it's created a lot of concern, rightfully so, for the neighbors. It is scheduled to be on the April 5th agenda. So at this point, we're really not deliberating the matter that's been discussed. So I'm not. Go ahead.
Scott?
I'm sorry?
Is this Scott presenting that message?
I'm sorry. One more time.
Is your name Scott?
No, my name is Mike Arkel. I'm the township manager.
Okay. No, it was not. But we want you to be abreast of our position before that meeting, so you may be prepared.
Very good. And that's entirely appropriate. And, it's great to see the neighborhood get excited and make contact. The forum, this is a totally appropriate forum. Please feel free to send, correspondence, emails, however you'd like the board to consider before they hear it. It's not on the agenda this evening, so we're not really deliberating it.
No, but do you have any questions?
I do not.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. I would say a couple of minutes, see if we get any more, Mr. Supervisor, and then proceed.
Very good. Have we noticed anything come through email wise or just phone?
Just phone.
Yep.
So Adam just sent me a list of our phone log. And it appears, I'm not seeing any names that weren't able to get through. At least it looks like some people tried quite often. But it appears that everybody got through that looked like they wanted to. I guess one option, Mr. Supervisor, is to, hold the call to the public until we can finish business, then maybe have another, open it up at the end of the meeting to see if there's some people that would continue to like to comment, but we've been silent here for about 3-4 minutes. And from the log, it looks like with some diligent effort, people were able to get through if they wanted to.
Actually, we have not closed this call to the public. So I intend on closing it just prior to adjournment.
Would you like me to interrupt the meeting with calls as they come in?
When we are in between votes. So if before we go, say, from item 4 to item 5, if we can do that, fine.
Very good. I'm going to mute myself, and if the call comes in, I'll keep them on hold until such time as is appropriate.
Very good. Thank you very much. So right now, many of you may recall, in regard to the regular agenda, we have motion and support And in the motion and support, you moved item 2, the February 15 minutes. Then we have 4, 5, and under 5, A, B, C, D, removed E, and we have F, and then we move on to item 6. Is everybody up to date on that? Are there any questions? Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Let's move first to what was on the consent agenda. Will you keep the same number? Item number 2, the February 15 minutes.
Yeah, I requested this to be moved to the regular agenda under item 4, which we had previously discussed. It is still wrong. The motion that was made that evening was that to switch to every week recycling as soon as possible and to also approve the $12 increase on the 2021 winter tax.
That is, according to my notes on past agenda, correct. We added that to the agenda. Every other to every week at $12, and the vote was 6-1.
Correct.
So the motion is to correct those minutes?
Yes.
Is there support?
Support.
The motion and support. Any further discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Item number 4 is the request for approval of an amendment to the township budgets 101, 212, 261, 264, 270, and 271 for the fiscal year ending March 31, 2021. Looking for motion and support.
Discussion, please. On the 2021 general fund budget, page 2 of the budget, for the salaries for the township clerk and the township treasurer, at the meeting last March, our salaries were approved at 57,505, not 57,581. So on the budget, it should be revised to the original budget line item as well as the amended budget line item should read 57,505 for both of those line items.
And when you compute, out of curiosity, are these always rounded or are there pennies to them?
If it's
They're
over
rounded?
50 cents, it's rounded up. If it's under 50, it's rounded down.
Okay. Good old fashioned math, right?
Yes. I would note that there was a publication March 5th in the Press Argus concerning the proposed budgets for the next fiscal year.
Okay.
And Robin, I sent a memo earlier. Did you not get?
I did get it, but the budget still should be changed.
Well, that's what I asked for, and I did change those.
In the budgets, though, that's not what was in the packet. So I just want to make sure it's reflected on in the
Yes,
packet.
it is. I can provide a copy of the corrected budget for the next meeting.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Any other further discussion? Any objections? I did have support. I had motion. Do I have support?
Diana Lowe?
Okay,
Oh, I'm sorry, that was the minutes.
That was-
Sorry, sorry.
so we have a motion by Robin as amended
Low support.
and Lowe supports. Any
You're
objection?
on mute, Jim, if you're trying to say something.
It's okay. I just didn't unmute it. We're
I
fine.
I saw your mouth move.
I'm sorry, Jim, I am not a lip reader this evening. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Item number 5, this is actually the public hearing related to budgets 101, 212, 261, 264, 270, and 271 for fiscal year beginning April 1, 2021, and commencing March 31, 2022, as requested by Scolaris. So item A, call to the public. Granted, we already have a call to the public in general. I mean, this can all be part of that. I'll hold for a few seconds, and in the event somebody is specific to this, regardless, we will keep these open for comment just based on the electronics, Zoom, all that fun stuff.
I said, how are we doing each budget separately? Are we doing all of 21, 22 as a group? How are you proposing to do this?
Right now, the only thing we have to break out, what we are breaking out is just that C and D, and then the disposition under F for the balance of those budgets, unless there's something specific you would like to do.
No, I'm just, are we doing the general fund budget now?
No, right this second, obviously, well, next is, and since we started that, is board discussion is item B. If you look at F, we're just doing it, we'll call it en masse for the disposition of all those, which includes go ahead.
Isn't that how we always do it, as a group, or do we do them individually?
The budgets themselves as a group, but the salaries have to be done separate.
Right.
All right, thank you.
And that's why they're listed in that alphabetical, to make sure that we do comply with that.
Right. Are we in discussion now?
Yes, we are.
All right, just to follow up to what I had corrected on the amended budget, I want to make sure that the numbers are changed in this one as well. I know, Polly, you sent out that memo, but again, the salary for clerk and treasurer are wrong on this one as well, so. And then based on the breakdown that you sent out earlier, Polly, that I had a really hard time backing into the line items for contractual salaries, and then the zoning and ordinance salaries. And I just think a review of those might be good at this time.
I can tell you about those. There was an April 1st paycheck that from April 1st of 2020 that is included in those totals. And I don't know, I know we have a review from our auditors and they make corrections in journal entries, and the April 1st pay is still in all of those projects.
Yeah, for the next year's budget though, I tried to, take the proposed 2% increase. Contractual is relatively easy because it's only 4 people. And what is in the proposed budget is 41,000 high. So just, I'm fine with going forward with this because it is a budget and it is just an estimate, but 41,000 is quite a bit. And then salaries, I show that one over 68,000. So I think just a review.
Yeah, maybe you and I can sit down and take care of that, maybe Monday or Tuesday next week.
So you are confirming, by the way, that under contractual, it entails 4 individuals, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And I did send the salaries with the 2% increase. That would be approved with the 2% increase, and all of the trustees and the treasurer and supervisor received a copy, I'm assuming.
Very good.
I received it, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
All righty. Any other discussion?
Can we come back to that? Maybe there's some numbers out of balance because of longevity. Because that would be added to the paycheck, but it's not actually in the dollar amount.
That's
Auto allowance.
Yeah, it's a bigger difference than that. That's all.
Yeah, let's take a look at it when you have chance.
I just need clarification. We know it's there. We just want to figure
And
out
it,
where.
and I mean, the decision tonight is to consider a 2% increase, whether, you know, the end dollar amount may be off. It just needs clarifying.
Okay. Again, any other discussion? All righty, let's move on to item C. This is disposition of salaries for elected officials with 2% increase for the supervisor, the treasurer, the clerk, and the trustees as added or amended. Is there a motion?
Move approval, Mortensen.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
discussion.
Discussion? Trustee Ledford.
I would like to revisit the budget fund number 101 regarding the salary increase for the clerk, the 6th line from the top. As distasteful as this is for me, I don't like to criticize or embarrass anyone, especially in front of all the board members, but I feel I must address the issue of a 2% across the board monetary increase, which includes our clerk. There were times when she abused her position and responsibilities of that office and lacked ethical conduct in her position as clerk. Therefore, I feel she is not deserving of this pay increase. The residents of this township elected her to the position of clerk several times because they trusted her, had faith in her, and that she was responsible and would take her job seriously. They expected integrity, honesty, professionalism, and dedication in her role as township clerk. We all took the oath of office and also signed our name to the Genoa Charter Township Principles of Government document, which covers these principles. And I have a copy of this document if anybody is interested in rereading it. For the board's consideration, here are a few of the violations that I'm aware of. She violated township resources by writing advance checks, putting in the least amount of time in the office that she can get away with, and not addressing her business matters. Abused certain duties that were her responsibility, which were eventually taken away from her and assigned to others because of irresponsibility, namely payroll, Freedom of Information Act, special assessment districts, board packet preparation, oversight of payroll functions, and handling of human resources, which includes pension, personnel records, etc., and utility billing. treating township staff in a rude manner, thereby creating personality conflicts and resentment within the office. She composed untrue minutes from certain election committee meetings of which I am a member and am witness to the same. There were times when members were told who will make the motion and who will support it. The minutes of the special meeting held July 3rd and 5th, 2018, stated that I made a motion and Mary Krinsicki seconded the motions because Diane Lowe was absent. Mary is not a member of the committee and therefore not eligible to vote. When brought to her attention, she rewrote the minutes, replacing Mary's name with Diane Lowe. And most recently, the mishandling of election ballots, a most serious matter, which was brought to the attention of the Livingston County Clerk. Since I am on the election committee, I do not relish the thought of being involved in this would-be type of scandal. While other people were doing her work, she was collecting a sizable paycheck for doing the least amount of work. The work assigned to others who took on her responsibilities are not being compensated for it. In fact, the sizable paycheck also includes a handsome retirement package that she will enjoy upon her retirement. Well, Mr. Chairman, I would like to make a motion to withhold the 2% pay increase for the clerk, Polly Scaleras, in this 2021 budget on the grounds of her irresponsible behavior, abuse of her office, malfeasance, and putting the integrity of the township at risk. And further, that all pay increases be denied for the remainder of her term or until the date of her resignation, whichever occurs first.
A motion is on the table, as so stipulated by trustee Ledford. Is there support?
Support for discussion, please.
We have a motion and we have support. Discussion?
That was a lot to take in, and I feel I need to respond. We as a township expect our employees to do their jobs well and to put their time in order to receive a pay increase. And I think we need to absolutely expect the same of our elected officials, myself included. And that's why I supported it.
Any further discussion, comments?
I'm gonna vote no on this. I think if there's a problem, I think there's another way to address it. The increase isn't a lot of money.
Martin
So
says, I do not support this motion.
Yeah.
We do have a motion and support, so we will need to call the vote. And since there is probably a couple of individuals that are opposed, then we will need to do a roll call vote. Is there any other discussion?
Yes, I'd like to make a comment, please.
Please.
Yes. I worked hard for this township for many years. I pride myself on the elections that have been run here with honesty and integrity. And I'm surprised at Jean Ledford's comments. And I'm saddened by it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other discussion?
Well, just one additional comment. I did not make this up. These things really did happen. And they were.
Sometimes you don't have all the facts, Jean.
regardless, we will need a roll call vote. A yes vote would be in support of the Ledford amendment. A no vote will be against. Madam,
Bradford,
Yes.
Kraft,
Yes.
Hunt,
Yes.
Lowe,
No.
Mortensen,
No.
Scaleras abstain, Rogers.
yes.
Thank you, Diana and Jim, for your support.
Motion carries as presented. Let's move on to item number D, disposition of a 2% salary increase for all staff, planning, and ZBA.
Low move approval.
Martinson support.
We have a motion and support. Any discussion?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that motion?
It's
The disposition of a 2% salary increase for all staff, planning, and ZBA.
Okay, I was just,
And the planning and ZBA was part of the amendment? by-
Correct. I got it.
Where does Board of Review come in? Are they just separate or?
We historically have not given them a raise. I think we did last year slightly, but I don't know, it's just a habit, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if there's any logic to it, really.
I was just
did
curious.
Look, last year, maybe our township manager, did we not look at what Board of Review members were getting? Couldn't make a lot of sense. Everybody paid them different ways per day,
Right.
per hour.
Per
or whatever.
hour, yeah. Okay.
We did review it and we were right in line where it should be.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I would still
Thank you.
recommend, obviously, we look at it every budget year just to make sure we're still in line, but.
In line, yeah.
Mr. Morrison, that's correct. We did look and we are in line with neighboring communities of our size.
Okay.
That's a tough job.
It was quite interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. We have a motion and support. Is there any further discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Next item was E was removed from the agenda as it was previously voted on. So let's move on to F, and this is the disposition of budgets 101, 212, 261, 264, 270, 271 as requested.
Lefford moves approval.
Martinson support for discussion.
Oh.
Computer page 38. Did we include 270 in the motion? Parks and Rec?
Yes.
Okay, on computer page 38, under appropriations, the second item from the bottom, senior survivor project, there's $110,000 expenditure there. Was there not supposed to be revenue raised by the Howell High School?
This is the township's portion that we previously discussed putting in.
Oh, yes, this is not us standing alone, and if the manager would wish to opine also.
Yeah, so we continue to have communications. I think I sent you an email with a video link related to a project we should all be very excited about. It's not like a grant application where we have to have a fixed amount of match. So that's just kind of a placeholder, Mr. Mortensen. And we don't know what kind of money they are going to raise. It is significant. And then the project will probably develop over a number of years. So yes, we expect revenue. We're not sure what the revenue will be.
Oh, that's fine. It's not set.
And I always like to qualify as probably qualifying as the senior is that this is high school seniors, not some of
So
them.
I understand what it is. I think it's a great, I think it's a, yeah, I'm a senior, I know. But I
It
think
is
it's a great project.
confusing
I
when you
think it's a
see it
great
like that.
project. I just want to clarify the arithmetic.
Well, yeah, and I was going to ask how much are the seniors contributing?
They do fundraisers basically throughout the year. And Mike, if you could enlighten them how much they have done in the past to different projects?
Yeah, so this isn't like your bake sale that we had when we were going to school. They get over the six figures. They've typically picked projects like breast cancer, pancreatic cancer research, that type of thing. Just a quick recap, there's a teacher in the Howell schools that has a special needs child, and they would like to build a playground that can be enjoyed by all skill levels, kind of universal design. So I would expect the amount of revenue to be significant. And if we could partner with them, I think we're going to end up with a project that the community is going to be very happy with, probably over phases. So I think we would envision a certain element that would say class of 2023, another element, so something we can hopefully build on over the next several years and be a benefit to both us, the schools, and our community at large.
Good.
It's actually kind of very exciting that they approached the township and looking at what we have going out here and thought that it would be a nice blend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, by the way, as all of you have seen, up until maybe today when it got really cold and windy, but the facilities here have been well used, and the sled hill has been extremely well used.
You can thank Todd Smith. He's the one that thought of that sled hill thing.
Well, ended up being a great idea.
Yeah. Didn't he do it with fill dirt and everything?
Yes, that I heard.
Yeah.
That's downtown Howell out there. When they did water and sewer a few years back, that's where that came from.
There you go. I'll leave it at that. Anyways, any further discussion? Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Let's move on to item number 6. And this is the request for approval of the following debt service fund budgets for the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2022. Fund 852, 859, 872, and 873 as provided by Treasurer Hunt.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to only have to submit 4 of these this year. And as you can see, 2 more are closing. Door Road Sewer and Water is ending next year. So unfortunately, we're stuck with Oak Point though for quite a while because that's the one we just refunded the bond. So that's going to go for 20 years. We do still have a lot of special assessments, but luckily the ones that we had to do bonds for are getting all paid off. So we are definitely in wonderful shape on these.
Excellent news.
It truly is. Any further discussion? All righty. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support.
Who was the support and who made the motion?
Hunt made the,
I didn't make it.
oh, you didn't make it?
No.
My fault. My fault.
I'll make it a low. I don't think we did have motion and support.
No, I got carried away.
It must be the excitement.
It is.
Low moves approval.
When I heard the good numbers, I just got too excited. Yeah. That is true. So, who supported it?
I'll support it, Ledford.
All righty. We now have a motion and support. So I probably should call this again. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. I think we got it that time. Yes, no?
Yes.
Bundle
Yes.
that time. Okay. Let's move on to correspondence.
You have two pieces of correspondence, one from the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs concerning an application by UF Michigan LLC. And you have a letter from Charter Communications concerning a launching of an African channel.
Beautiful. Let's move to member discussion. Any discussion?
Yeah, going through this package, I think the page numbers changed. Pages are added or dropped. I reviewed the whole thing Sunday, and Monday, there's different page numbers on this thing. I think either that or I'm losing my mind, which is a possibility. But
well, there's a couple of different sheets that have different numbers on it that don't coincide with the other ones and don't back up to it. So that may be what you're referring to.
Did the page numbers change when it went virtual? I mean, would that have bumped it up one or something?
No, there was additional sheet that I think they made the print bigger for some of us, and those numbers, you know, if Jim, you're speaking of was 23 to 30, but then the other version that we originally got was, I believe, say 32 through, where did it go? Because I was looking at,
well,
2 to 40.
If you go to Parks and Recreation, when I reviewed it Sunday, that was page 38, 37 on a computer. 37th page on a computer. Now it's the 38th page. And as I make notes, that's the number I use to get there because I don't keep hard paper. And so I was stumbling around on a couple other pages too.
Yeah.
So let's try to, when Thursday night packet goes out, let's try to freeze it, okay? And if there's got to be an amendment, handle it differently.
Or highlight it to you that
Or something, yeah, I don't know.
I would, especially with budgets, I concur. It can get confusing when you're following up.
We can do that. No problem.
Yep. Any other discussion? Do we have any calls? I haven't heard your phone in a little while. Mike?
No, we've not got any other calls.
Then what I'd like to do is close the call to the public from our beginning of the agenda and also close the call to the public in regard to the budget. So that being done, oops.
You spoke too soon.
I did. Let's take that.
Genoa Township, can I help you?
Yeah, I just want to say something.
I can't hear anything.
No, Mike's muted.
He's
Oh, okay.
He's talking.
All right, thanks. I thought I hit something.
We do have a caller that just called in.
I would say regardless of what I had just said, let's take the caller.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Jim Rancho,
And your address?
3611 Westfall.
Okay, go ahead. What would you like to say to the board? Go ahead.
Basically, my name is Jim Brancho. I live on Westfall. I'm totally opposed to the project that they want to do off Chilson Road. I've been talking to like 300 different neighbors so far. I've actually been out raising signatures and people that are protesting it. And I can actively say that 99.9% of the people are opposed to it. Out of the 350 people that I've talked to, literally only one person was in favor of it. And what we're opposed to is just the location of it. It's just totally in a residential area between homes. We totally believe that this is going to lead to a future project. I know we're not supposed to talk about that and everything, but if anybody has any common sense, and if they've done any research, they'll find out that CHI has plans to do some large project plans. We weren't happy with what happened last week at the meeting. I actually put in a Freedom of Information Act request, looking to find out what happened when the meeting was taking place. And then they took a break. We heard a bunch of board members that kind of sided one way. And then it was funny, they came back from a break. And then there was a lot of people that changed their opinions. So it just seemed a little amiss. We have a huge coalition of people that is forming, and we just want to let the trustees and everybody know that this coalition is gaining pace. We have many people that are jumping on board, and the vast majority of the voting public here in Genoa Township is totally opposed to this project. And that's pretty much all I have to say at this time.
Okay, thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Good evening, Genoa Township. Can I help you?
Hello,
Hi. What can we do for you?
are you still taking calls?
Yeah, the call to public is still technically open. How can we help you? You have the audience of the Township Board.
Hello, my name is Deborah Jones. I live at 3553 Westfall Road. Hang on, let me walk away from my computer.
Thank you.
I would just like to voice my disgust for the raises, and I don't care that 2% is a little in your book. While many residents and business owners, due to financial losses during COVID, I feel that it is not the time to vote for pay raises. I think that is very selfish on your side. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Give me one moment. There was another call trying to bounce in there, so let's hold on a minute. Your call, Mr. Supervisor.
Got a couple more seconds and then I will call for adjournment. Because I know somebody was trying to sneak in there.
Terry, are you going to SUMCOG on Thursday?
He can't.
Well, virtual, it's a virtual meeting.
Oh, they want to see his pretty face.
We're clear here, Mr. Supervisor.
I am going to call for adjournment. Is there a motion and support?
Move adjournment, Robin Hunt.
Low support.
Low support. Any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes by unanimous support. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.